Right, we're just about to chat to this person here.
Who's... Oh. Don't you know not to interrupt a sage when she's deep in concentration? I suppose the Rite Master sent you to see how my research was coming along. I've listened to his memory over and over, and I examined every relevant tome I could find.
Have you been able to identify an unknown language?
Not yet. The Master of the House of Reveries sent me his work. It relates to a similar language seen in the ruins of Ebon Stadmont, but I only understand a little of it. I wish Lathan was still one of us. He was our language expert.
Lathan's an expert on ancient languages?
Ancient languages and battle magic, to name just a few. Lathan betrayed us, and I don't trust him, but I've reached a dead end. We need help, and he's the best option I can think of. Take the notes and show them to Lathan. What do we have to lose?
Okay.
I'll let the Rite Master know what I proposed. He may not like it, but he's always telling us to utilize every available resource. I think this qualifies. You'll find Lathan in Valserin's study. See if you can convince him to translate the words.
It's funny how you'd have your enemy just, you know, walking around, looking at everything, finding out all your secrets. Where are we going?
You weren't this attentive when our daughter actually needed you.
Lathan, I need to go check on the knight anyway.
Val, wait! Damn it. By the spinner's holy webs. When did I become an insufferable arse? Valserin didn't deserve that. Eldaway was her daughter too. Why am I talking to you about this? I know it isn't because I like you. Because I really don't.
I understand you're good with languages.
Is this some new attempt at interrogation? If so, I'm not familiar with the technique. Very well, I'll play along. Yes, I am a master linguist, specializing in ancient and obscure languages. Why do you ask?
The Rite Master heard these words, but we can't translate them. They may point to the Tower Crystal.
Intriguing. I've never seen this dialect before. I can translate it, but I need more to work with. I need to examine the original tablets found at Ebon Stadmont. That will never happen, of course. You do remember I'm a prisoner here, don't you?
I can go there. What do you need to complete the translation?
According to those notes, the writing is carved into a massive stone. I doubt you'd be able to carry it back here. All right, you've piqued my interest. Use this rune when you reach Ebon Stadmont, and I'll be able to see what you see.
What does it do exactly?
Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest, find the obscure language, and use the rune so I can see what you see. It won't do anything beyond that, I assure you.
You know, I don't like this because we're going to show him where the crystal thing is. He's got the language thing so he can translate it. And then he's just going to go and tell his cronies somehow. He'll get some message out, probably through that rune stone. But what can I do? I have to go along with it. Unless he's being double played by the Rite Master. That's a possibility. Alright, let's... we gotta go miles and miles, yeah, all the way back up there. The leg. Yeah. to Somerset. Yeah, I still don't trust him, even though he's under a spell which contains him there. It doesn't mean he can't figure a way to get a message to his Daedra friends, accomplices, or whatever they are. And any minute now we'll enter Somerset, he says. Oh, it's taking so long. Did Somerset get bigger all of a sudden? Just standing there looking at the wall. Everything's normal. Right, let's see. Where are we going? I'm not seeing it. Now I'm seeing it. Yes, right. So we're here, we're going to get there. So we can go to that and teleport to that. And that is what we shall do. Heading in the right, kind of the right way. Go to that one, and then once more we need to go pretty much that way. And if I've done this one, you can see that rune thing. I'm trying to find. I need one more. I haven't pressed it yet. It's been a while. I don't know if it's one I've actually started and then didn't finish. And because normally when you do one, you get a voice speak to you, or whatever that thing is that's helping me. But I haven't heard anything for a long time, so I'm wondering if I actually started one and didn't finish it, and now I don't get the voice. Oh, no,
The room is working perfectly. It's almost as if I'm standing right next to you.
I thought this was the other thing for another mission, but it's not.
I can feel the powerful magic that permeates this place. I sense a Daedric influence, but something that's far older than my Prince Bathala.
Which should I be looking for?
The Maestro's notes said the ancient words were etched into a massive stone. I expect you'll need to travel deeper into the forest to find the exact location. I can't translate the words the Right Master heard until you find that stone.
How do I find a massive stone covered in an ancient writing?
I'm not your tour guide. Just pick a direction and start walking. Wait a moment. The Maestro's notes. There was a passage that might help. Something about crows. Maybe that will be enough to guide you. Refer to the book and use the rune again when you locate the ancient writing.
clues? That one there? That's a bit of a clue. It's behind this thing. The question is, how do I get to this thing? Oh, that's the thing I was on about before. But again, there was no voice. I've probably done this one. Let's see it there. I need to get to there somehow.
Wherever could that blasted mercenary be?
I wonder if I should speak to her, because this might be part of the same thing. Yeah, we'll speak to her.
Greetings, my friend. Fancy meeting you all the way out here. Perhaps you could help me once more. I need an escort for my expedition. I expect we'll encounter some danger along the way, but I'm sure it's nothing you can't handle.
What expedition?
And put simply, I found records of an ancient temple, somewhere in this very forest. And I've come to study what secrets it may hold. I will warn you, Ebon Stadmont can be tricky to navigate.
Tricky? How?
Travelers become lost, sometimes for days. From what I heard, the forest appears to shift as you move through it. We'll need to keep close together. So, want to help me unlock an ancient mystery? I must say, I do pay well.
Is this part of the same thing? Because if it is, we'll do it.
Thank you for accepting my offer. I'm quite excited to be heading my own expedition. Tellinger may have a great mind, but sometimes he's a bit much. It's nice.
Thing is, if it's not part of the same thing, it doesn't matter. I can finish it another time. But it is.
We're looking for inscriptions. Alert me once you see any gibberish carved into stone.
In that for it. Gibberish. See, are you telling me you can read that gibberish? Because if you can, then I don't need that other dodgy bloke. In fact, this might be useful. Or something.
Yes, this is exactly what we're looking for. Why, it's almost as if I can hear the words.
Ooh, look out.
Sel Ra Ang Yond. Eastern Temple.
Big guy.
Daedra? I don't have time for distractions. Could you hold them off while I finish translating?
What do you think I'm doing?
inscription indicates that the temple is further up. Quick, follow me. By Uriel! How did I end up here?
Where? The heck? Find the path to the ruin. This must be it. I don't know where she went. She said she was up here somewhere, but I couldn't see her. Do I want to use this room? I suppose we can.
Have you found the inscription? Not yet, but the Grand Maestro mentioned Daedra. And I never imagined they'd belong to one of the patrons of the Court of Bedlam. This changes everything. Now I'm really interested in helping you translate the Right Master's memory.
What do you mean? What's this have to do with Nocturnal?
An excellent question. But we won't learn anything if you continue to stand here and talk to my projection. Get moving and find that inscribed.
Yeah. Can I horse it? No. Oh boy. You know what? Let's boost my health. Let's use an experience as well. So we get more experience and get a chicken. Yeah. So have a look around. Spoiled food. No, thank you. I think what I'm going to do is just run like hell. Still got this chesty, coffee, wintry thing. Come on. Let's make sure we're clear first. Good.
Ancient inscription. You found it. Something isn't right. I feel our connection breaking up. It's Nocturnal's Earl.
Now that Lathan's gone, we can talk freely. These words of power, they aren't meant for mortal eyes. As an Earl in the Court of Bedlam, believe me when I say that Lathan isn't being totally honest with you.
As an Earl of the Court of Bedlam, why should I believe a word you say?
I wish to maintain the balance of power among the Daedric Triad. If Lathan translates this language and passes the secret on to his mistress, Mephala, she'll gain an advantage that could threaten my prince, Nocturnal.
Sounds like the triad of the Daedric princes isn't as united as we thought.
Speculate all you want. I'm here to present you with a gift. Nocturnal wants me to provide you with the meaning of the ancient words. It's in all our best interests for the Right Master to remember where he hid the heart of transparent law.
So what do the words mean?
The phrase the Right Master remembers. The one that repeats itself over and over. It's a spell to retrieve something hidden. When the time is right, he just needs to repeat the phrase and the heart's hiding place will be revealed.
Why doesn't Nocturnal retrieve the heart herself?
My mistress doesn't explain herself to me, and she certainly won't explain herself to you. I assume, though, since the heart was hidden by the Right Master, then only the Right Master can retrieve it.
You knew exactly when and where to contact me. How?
Artaeum is only as isolated as it allows itself to be. First, the Abyssal Pearl allowed the Seaslode and Mephala to invade the Sidjic Island. Then you took Lathan, an Earl in the Court of Bedlam, prisoner. We know your moves before you make them.
How did you get involved in all this?
I am a Dark Elf, a child of Morrowind who lost her way. Anger and despair almost overwhelmed me, until Nocturnal reached out to comfort me. The Night Mistress filled me with new purpose, and gave me something greater than myself to believe in.
But you're not a high elf like the other members of the Court of Bedlam.
While it's true that the court consists primarily of high elves, who believe their birthright is the key to godhood, I am not so naive. Nocturnal selected me as her Earl. She taught me that loyalty is the path to ascension, and my loyalty is strong.
And what does the triad of Daedric princes hope to achieve?
Our princes plan to do away with the laws imposed by other powers. They want to remake Nirn, reshape it to better suit their every inclination. Of course, to do this, all obstacles must be cast aside, including the other Daedric princes.
And what does the Court of Bedlam get out of all this?
The court isn't evil. We wouldn't be a part of something that didn't add to the greater good. When our princes are done, war and sickness will be eradicated. There will be true peace and godhood for the court, as befits beings of our stature.
Everybody's out for themselves. Right, let's...
Tell the Right Master, it's a spell of retrieval.
Finally, I've re-established my connection to the rune. Tell me what Nocturnal's Earl said to you. I can't believe Nocturnal's Earl interfered like that. We're supposed to be allies. Why would she want to stop me from reading that ancient inscription?
Because it's a spell.
A spell. Interesting. And somehow connected to the Right Master's forgotten hiding place. I wonder why Nocturnal decided to share this information. She isn't usually the most forthcoming of the court's esteemed princes.
She also indicated that you've been informing the court about our plans.
Right. I told them to interrupt my research before I could unravel an ancient and powerful language. Look, you should come back to Kapora Tower now. The Right Master wants to hear everything my associate shared with you. And frankly, so do I.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
I just wish I could have spent a few moments studying that inscription.
What happened to the other one, though? Is she still... Is this going to take me out of the... I'm just wondering what happened to our other sort of side quest thing. No, let's go through and find out. Or is she sort of like... Did we abandon her because we didn't see her? We'll figure it out when we get back on this side. Ooh, we have definitely... Can we go back in here? It was around here, wasn't it? Yeah, it's here, so... Yeah, it wants us to go back in, so... let's go back in.
Hello. if we end up back here? Let's try this again.
Oh, okay, she's... Have I got to fight all these things again? No? Good. She got reset back there somehow. What the heck? Seriously? Go away. That's what happens, you see.
Hello? I think we got separated.
Again, where? Oh. So that just says find a path to the ruins. We may have got separated, but surely I'm not supposed to go back through there. See, last time we went through here. We're not here then. There's another one here.
I hear you! Over here!
In here. Let me just check where we are. Right, let's just go in here. No?
Well, seems the rumors are true. Ebon Stadmont truly does twist around you. Perhaps another inscription will help guide us.
There's one here, look. Just here.
Aha! Now let's see. That voice again. Para Ekne.
Oh, here we go.
Past pathway? Daedra again? We don't have time for this.
Heck is she gone now? Be up here? I'm trying to cut through so I don't aggro stuff on the path, because you know they'll lay stuff all around the paths. Might be able to make it up here. There we go. Yep, that was a baby mammoth just wandering around. Well, hopefully she's in here. We don't get sent all the way back to the start to find her again. Oh god, this is getting bigger and bigger, this quest. I can't read it because that's in the way. If you are reading this, you finally caught up to me. As I was translating the stone before you, a door opened ahead. I waited for you, but I can't risk the door closing. Just read the inscription on the stone and you should be able to follow. I think you'll find it easy enough to translate. Really? This book. Empty, empty. The disc? Empty, empty. They're probably all empty. Looks like it. Right, well, let's do this then.
Hurrah, Volisto, the past revealed.
Take care of that thing before it takes care of us.
What thing? This thing? Yep.
Thank the stars. I think he's coming too.
Am I really an Aetherius? I didn't know they let your kind in here.
Don't worry. You're alive. Can I ask you your name?
We of the House of Reveries have no names, only masks. But you can call me Fletch, because I specialize in the art of the bow, see? Oh, my aching head. How did I end up here? I don't remember a thing.
Do you remember coming to Edmund Stadmont?
Ebon Stadmont. I'm sorry, but I just don't remember. I must have come here with my traveling troupe, though. I wouldn't have left Relenthiel without them. Someone must have ambushed me. A ferocious someone, given my state.
Perhaps it was a Daedra I just defeated.
Daedra? Mara's elbow, that doesn't sound good. Could you help me find my troop leader, Maestro Forte? I need to warn him. He should be somewhere nearby, I think.
Alright, let's go. Going this way.
Forte! Is that you?
Fletch, what's happened? The whole troop is looking for you.
Grand Maestro Forte? Why, I had no idea you were in Ebon Stadmont.
Grand? Oh no, I'm simply Maestro Forte. Hardly worthy of the title Grand yet.
We're in the past. Past. Must be the past.
It appears you've saved Fletch from the brink of death. It brings to mind the story of Temerian, who of course was saved by the Nereids of... Ah, but now is not the time for such tales. Tell me, what has happened?
She saved his life. He can't remember anything, but there are Daedra nearby.
Daedra? I had no idea. Our watch did report some strange creatures prowling about at night, but I've heard of no other attacks. Something must be attracting them here. Did you just come from the temple?
Yes, that's where we found Fletch.
The only thing of note I discovered within the temple is a glowing stone in its main chamber. I've yet to translate the stone's inscription, but it may be attracting Daedra to it. I found a similar stone nearby. Can you help me investigate?
Yep, I can do that.
Excellent. Why don't you and your companion head to the stone? Just follow the path north. I'll escort Fletch to our camp and make sure he's seen to. We'll meet back here afterward and share our findings.
Yep, we'll take care of it. Right, we are going this way.
I know this is strange, but let's get to this stone. Perhaps it can answer some questions.
The stone.
The House of Reveries in Ebon Stadmont? Why wouldn't I have heard about that?
Twilight. She's not still fighting, is she? No, she's not. Bait it, won't it?
Lenka, fall away. Future's door.
Did you hear it too? That woman's voice. At first I thought I was imagining it.
How could you
Future's
imagine
door.
that?
A House of Reveries expedition I've never heard of. Grand Maestro Forte rebuffing his proper title. And the temple room where we found Fletch? It looked the same as the room we first entered, but there wasn't a cobweb or broken pew in sight.
That does all seem strange. What does it mean?
It means we ventured somewhere we never should have gone. The past. I know it seems far-fetched, but remember that stone we first activated? I thought the inscription referenced an event, but the past was a destination, not an occurrence.
The stone in the temple sent us to the past.
That's my theory, and I'd rather not explore further to find out. Affecting the past has far-reaching consequences. It makes me wonder what trouble we've already caused. But this stone's inscription indicates it should send us back to the present.
How can you be sure?
I can't be sure in all honesty, but we have to try. Otherwise we'll be stuck in the past.
Alright, I'll use the stone to go back to the present.
This stone should lead us back to our natural time. All you need to do is keep that destination clearly in your mind. I'll follow right behind you. It is quite intriguing. Grand Maestro Forte is the head of Somerset's greatest acting troupe, the House of Reveries. But I've also heard tale that he's a great academic as well, though perhaps I'm more familiar with his work than I thought. The research I've been using to help translate the language here came from an expedition that occurred around this time. Perhaps Maestro Forte wrote the very notes that led me here. I'll ask him, but I'd rather not affect the past more than we have.
Do you think we've changed the past already?
Well, Fletch was very close to death, and I recall seeing bones in our present time, right where I found him injured. Most likely he was supposed to die. I'm almost glad I was so ignorant when I healed him. I don't know what I would have done.
What do you mean?
As I said earlier, changing the past has far-reaching consequences. For all I know, healing Fletch could have dire consequences to our present. I would have had to weigh his life against the potential impact of that change. Quite the somber thought.
I see. Do you know why I hear a woman's voice reading these inscriptions?
I've been hearing this voice since I first started translating these inscriptions. It must be some sort of magic, connected to the inscriptions. Perhaps connected to the language itself, come to think of it.
Isn't it ancient language and not well known?
Oh, it is rather odd for a mysterious language to speak to anyone who reads it. The misdirecting nature of Ebon Stadmont must have kept researchers from studying these inscriptions, that's all. Not to mention the local wildlife.
It just seems rather convenient, a voice telling us where to go.
I'm not sure what to tell you. I do know that we have to return to our time, and quickly. This mysterious voice, whatever its motivation, is the only thing helping us do that. We have little choice but to follow it now.
Just follow a voice. Just like that. Right, well, it says to go through that door, so... to go through that door.
It's you.
This doesn't look good.
Years and years, and I never could find you. And here you are, back where it all began. Looking as if you haven't aged a day. My friend, what happened to you?
I just came through the door to get back to the original time.
So the stone did send you to the future after all. I had feared the worst. That day I tried to follow after you and return to our original time. But the stone's magic faded, and the doorway closed. Try as I might, I couldn't get it open.
What did you do?
I was trapped within Ebon Stadmont. For decades, I'd been studying this language and desperately searching for a way out. But my path would always lead me back here. But I did it. I finally found a way to go back, to stop this all from happening.
And what do you mean?
I must stop myself from ever going back in time. I've been wasting my life within this cursed forest. The Southern Stone. That's the key to... Wait, what's that? Is that Fletch?
Where?
Fletch! Ah!
I'm sorry, dear, but your role has been cut.
The temple. You must go back. Go through the temple. The Southern Stone. Bane away Tendel. Those are the words. Stop this from happening. Take my diary. It will prove everything.
This suddenly got interesting. Let's,
It's time for the grand finale of our little production.
course, the play continues. I'll see you soon.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Activate the Southern Stone. Gotcha.
Such an effort to escape me. I suppose I have what I need. Well, I suppose it's curtain call. You finally figured it out. Well, and Derwin figured it out, didn't she? But hey, you put all the legwork in. And here you are, just in time to stop our leading lady from ever performing her starring role.
Curtain call. Wait, I just killed you. After you killed Derwin.
Ah, but did you kill me? Truly? Not even an accomplished healer could bring me back? And yes, I did take part in Derwin's final scene. Or rather, I will. All a matter of perspective there, you see. But she shouldn't have tried to cut the act short.
The act?
Derwin was the leading lady of our production. It was up to her to uncover the mysteries of Ebon Stadmont, to find the true potential of its hidden power. But she found a way to escape, and in her last breath told you the way back to the start.
Back to the start. Does that mean I'm in the present?
Sadly, yes. And so my part must end as well. I put on quite the performance, though, don't you think? The poor, confused soul, the dastardly villain, the mysterious sage. But I think you have a task to do, don't you? A dying wish to fulfill?
I need to stop her going back to the past.
Yes, our heroine should be just outside, if I remember correctly. After so many times around, though, I tend to lose track. Well, no need to get into all of that.
I still have a question. Who are you?
I told you the very first time we met. I'm Fletch. I used to be a mere actor, but now I serve a greater force. I've served her for quite a while now, helping to find the true power of Ebon Stadmont. With Derwin's help, of course.
What do you mean?
What did Derwin call her? Ah, the Spirit of the Sanctum. An appropriate title as any. She rules over this forest. I think she always has, though I'm not quite sure. She needed the power here, you see. Ebon Stadmont was integral to her plans.
And her plans?
Don't bother asking me. Mostly because I have no idea. I would have died had the spirit not saved me. And it wasn't too bad. A supporting role at best. I'd make sure the loop continued, make sure Derwin kept researching again and again.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I barely understand, and I've lived through it. And it's done now, in any case. You made sure of that. But I think the spirit learned enough. It will have to do.
What did the spirit learn enough about?
The language here, of course. You see, it's all rather tricky. Only mortals are able to use the language. That's what allowed you to travel through time after all. And Derwin was the perfect candidate to uncover its secrets.
So she was trapped here to study the language.
Yes. All our heroine needed was the proper motivation. Derwin was trapped within the forest, unable to get out. Then she would hear a whisper. Guiding, always guiding. And as Derwin used the language, my mistress would be watching.
Okay then, fine. Right, well, we still need to go back to the report in on our findings to the other one, but I think we're going to leave that for another video, because this is going on a long time with the side, quite a long side quest. Right, let's just speak to her.
There you are! We finally made it to the temple. Oh, I just can't wait to see what secrets are inside.
This temple is a trap. We need to leave the forest now.
The temple is a trap? What do you mean?
Here, this book should fill you in.
A book? Why, this is my handwriting. I've been trapped within this forest for decades now. Trapped within the past. My face is filled with wrinkles. My heart darkened with regrets. My life was stolen from me.
Something led you to this temple, all in the attempt to trap you here.
Something trying to... My goodness. This is all so hard to wrap my head around.
That book should fill you in on the details, but for now we must leave.
Yes, I agree. You've gone above and beyond protecting me during this expedition. Though the details seem a bit complicated, to think I would have been trapped here, I'd say our contract is concluded. Thank you for all you've done. I suppose I did succeed in this expedition. The notes you've given me are written by my hand after all. Though of course that me won't exist now since you've stopped me and I'm going to stop now. Before my head hurts.
I only know you were trapped here.
I'm sure these notes will give me more details. The best thing to do now is share our findings with the Mages Guild. Let them know how dangerous this forest truly is. As for me, I'll join back up with Tellinger.
Are you upset to be going back to Tellinger?
You know, it may be silly, but I suppose I came here to step out of his shadow. If I could be the one to crack Ebon Stadmont, well, perhaps that would be enough. And then I was trapped in the past to serve a mysterious being. Oh, I would have been.
I could see where that would put you off.
Tellinger is the one who makes brash decisions and puts us all in danger, and I'm the one who helps fix it. Yet as soon as I lead, I find myself in the same position as him. For now, I'd rather clean up his messes rather than make my own.